Here we go. It is the Nightcap right here on BearcatJournal.com, brought to you as always by our outstanding friends and partners at Galactic Fried Chicken. Visit them, www.galacticfriedchicken.com. Download the app for Android, iPhone, everything Galactic. Or just do the smart thing. Go to Dayton, Kentucky. Tell them pump it up. Get 15% off your order. Wings, tendies, thighs, breasts, legs. My 11-year-old's favorite. She goes 4 legs, which that's a pretty good meal. 4 legs. And then she gets macaroni and cheese. Or no, so macaroni and cheese, or she gets mashed potatoes. She always gets fries. She gets Galactic sauce and mixes it with ranch. So it's not as hot for her. And she loves it. And you know, I've gone tendies the past 2 times I've gone. I've always been I like the fried chicken. Like I get a thigh or a breast or whatever. I've gone tendies the last 2 times, and tendies are so good.
We threw Galactic sauce on Chipotle turkey paninis today.
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
With a little pepper jack. Fire.
That sounds delicious. I should have put them on my burgers tonight. I went with my standard for burgers is mayo on the bottom bun, A1 on the top bun. I like A1 on my burgers.
The last 2 times now that I've gone to Kroger, we pick up the pepper jack burgers that have like the pepper jack and jalapenos infused into the patty.
And then you go Galactic sauce.
Yeah, and that's it. I don't need anything else. Little pepper jack on top. Boom.
Maybe I think I need to go Galactic sauce in the burger, like as I'm cooking it.
I thought that's what you did with the. I thought you did that at one point.
Well, no, my normal my mom's recipe for burgers was A1 sauce in the burgers, okay. A1 sauce and brown sugar. But lately, like Kelsey, it's too sweet for her. She doesn't like it, so I just do A1 sauce on the top bun. Maybe I need to come up with a concoction of like Galactic sauce, A1, and mayo. Mix it all together and get a sauce out of it. That would probably be outstanding.
An aioli of sorts? A galactic aioli?
The galactic aioli. Yeah. The galactic sauce aioli.
There it is.
I love it. Let's get going.
Yep.
So practice number 2 is in the books. A couple quick hits. And look, Aaron, I know people people think the best time to be on Bearcat Journal is in season. Because the games are happening, like everybody gets to talk about their reactions to the game. For me, the most value you get out of your Bearcat Journal subscription is during the spring and during fall camp, like during the off season, because you can't be there.
Well, and
I'm your eyes.
Last year was kind of a one-off because we had a pretty good idea as to what was going on.
Yeah, there weren't
the storylines weren't there.
What are the position battles?
Are there any?
Who's going to be the second team strong safety? Like that. Those were the position battles.
Right.
Like,
it was absolutely wild.
Now we're cooking with gas. This has been fun the first 2 days. I feel reinvigorated. I feel energized.
The weather doesn't hurt.
Well, today was kind of rainy and crappy. We were
in the warm rain.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Saturday was, oh my God, 65, 70 degrees, 75 degrees at Nippert Stadium.
Best day you could ask for.
The wind was a little turned up, but like it was March 5th or whatever. Yeah, let's go. It was outstanding. Yep. But this is the time you get the most out of your Bearcat Journal subscription because you guys don't get to be there. I get to be there for you and get to bring you everything that's coming across my lens, and I'm having fun so far, man. We're getting a couple young guys that are already like flashing big time. The 2 names you can get more on it: Shema Mateer, Leroy Bowers, one on offense, one on defense. We talked at length on the Bearcat Bounce podcast. I put some stuff on the board, but that's the type of stuff that like it's fun. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the fun part of getting to be there, checking out stuff that nobody else gets to see.
Well, I mean, you had inklings on Leroy Bowers throughout.
He had a great bowl practice.
Right.
Like, he made a name for himself that they're going to have a hard time keeping this kid off the field.
But 6 weeks ago, Shimon Mateer was a name that a lot of people didn't even know, unless you've been paying attention to recruiting. And
yeah, I mean, he was the number one recruit in the class. Like, he had a name, but he had a quiet freshman year for sure. Redshirt freshman season.
But then we started seeing the speeds, and now we're starting to see it translate onto the field. And now everyone's like, tell me more about Shimon. Who is this 260-pound guy running 20 miles an hour?
Right. The other thing that was great about today. So Saturday, and we talked about this Saturday on this show.
Right.
The quarterbacks are pretty even. Like, I thought Ben Bryant had a slightly better day than Evan Prater, but they both kind of had the same character arc on Saturday. They were a little too hyped up maybe early. As they settled down, they both found a rhythm. They both made some plays towards the end of practice. Today, Evan Prater was good. They had a solid day. I think there was really only one play that I like. He went for a deep ball over the top and aired it out a little bit too much, and Armorion Smith came flying over and made an interception. And that was really the only like bad ball I thought he threw all day, where it was just eat that one or throw it out of bounds or whatever. Ben Bryant was electric today. And that is a great thing, because one of two things are going to happen if that's what Ben Bryant is bringing to the table. He's either going to separate himself, or Evan Prater is going to say, all right, I got to keep up with Ben. And that's the whole iron sharpens iron thing, right?
Agreed.
Iron sharpening iron isn't two dudes being average battling for a spot.
Well, and just playing devil's advocate, we have seen Evan Prater have amazing days.
Yes, you're not playing devil's advocate. You're exactly what I'm talking about, in that now Evan's going to have, like, if Ben is having days like this, to keep up, Evan is going to have to elevate. So, and that's nothing but good.
Agreed.
Nothing but good.
Agreed.
Like, this is, today I thought was a great development, because Ben made some throws today that literally were like, holy shit. We talked about it on the BBP. I talked about it he made a throw to Tyler Scott for like a 50-plus yard touchdown that just was a laser.
Well, and you made it sound like basically he put it in a window, where as opposed to finding a guy
safety over the top.
Out. Yeah.
There was a safety over the top. There was a DB trailing that was in good position, and Ben just ripped it. Just, one of those, like, you watch a quarterback, like, you as a Joe Burrow guy.
Correct.
You watch Joe sometimes just step into it and rip one.
Mm-hmm.
Ben ripped it, and it hit Tyler Scott right on the hands, just outside of the coverage. 55-yard touchdown. Like,
kind of going back to Saturday too, as far as Ben Bryant goes. I feel like the receivers, there were a handful of times, not even once or twice, but a handful of times where I don't think guys were ready for the zip he was putting on it. And I think that's how I believe it was the Bowers interception.
Yeah.
Where it was a guy, it hit the guy too hard in the numbers. He hit him in the numbers. It wasn't a bad throw. It was just, he zipped it too hard, and the receiver was not ready for what Ben was putting on it. So I think there's going to be some acclamations for all parties. I mean,
the guys that have been here know, like, Ben can rip it.
Well, but
that's the other thing. Like, it's so hard. Like, I think people genuinely already have forgotten Ben Bryant spent 3 years in this program.
But
he's seen as like transfer Ben Bryant.
How different is this receiver room though since the last time he has been here?
Vastly. I mean, a lot, like Tyler Scott and Jaden Thompson. Those guys were freshmen. So remember, I think that's another important key.
Blue Smith, Trey Tucker.
Those guys were babies when Ben was the second team quarterback.
Yeah.
So there is a year worth of built-in timing with these guys that are now the first team guys.
But you have a lot of new guys too in
sure.
A Chris Scott, in a Drew Donnelly, in a
No, Chris Scott came in, but Ben was here when Chris Scott was here.
Was he?
Yeah. Drew Donnelly's new.
Drew Donnelly,
of course, from that group.
Mardner.
Will Pauling's new. Nick Mardner's new. But Ben has thrown to a lot of these guys. So they know the ball's coming at Shimama Taylor's new. Lenny was obviously here for a couple years. Like it's just a weird dynamic. This whole Ben coming back thing is a weird dynamic, right? Like
it doesn't happen often.
Right. But he took that first step today. And if we're gonna have a competition, we're gonna have a competition. And you're gonna have to get it. You're gonna have to earn it.
I'm looking forward to the race between the two quarterbacks.
I am too. I'm so excited to see Wednesday. If Evan has one of those days of like my turn.
Yeah.
Like, all right, you showed out on Monday. Wednesday's about me.
Just a classic, like anything you can do, I can do better.
Right. And that's what makes for iron sharpens iron. What doesn't make for iron sharpens iron is both guys throw like 4 picks and they complete 47% of their passes, and you have to like hold your nose and pick one. Well, iron sharpens iron is both guys play well, and you have to figure out the one that plays better.
It also helps that you have, well, I mean, kind of to your point, I mean, you have the opportunity for both these guys to fight for a spot, as opposed to if Ben doesn't come back, who's Evan really fighting for the job, and what's pushing him at that point?
Right.
Maybe Luther,
but Luther's not going to be here till June. Right. So, no, this is fun. This has been fun so far. It's been a fun couple days.
Good.
I am. I'm energized by getting to spring practice. Like sometimes it can feel. Last year, it didn't feel like a chore. It just didn't feel like there was anything to report.
Right.
Like who, Sauce or Pierce? Which high round NFL draft pick got the best of each other? I mean, watching people dissecting like Sauce has lost it. Pierce got 2 touchdowns in 2 days. Sauce is never allowed a touchdown. It's like, well, Sauce and Alec face off against each other like 27 snaps a practice.
If you remember, we were reporting on their trash talk. That's how hard it was to find storylines. Like, well, they kind of got after it with each other a little bit today, and we got to witness that from the sideline.
Right.
That was the highlight.
Sauce and Alec politely trash talked each other. Because those two, like, they were never swinging at each other's helmets, right?
Right.
They shook hands before every rep, like. So, another good day. There's a Wes Miller video. As I mentioned, go check that out. There's a old face in the background, an old head in the background, getting some shots up. G-Long Gwynn in the building today.
Oldie but a goodie.
Yeah, and it was, I mentioned this on the bounce. It was hilarious. G-Long, when he left Cincinnati, he went to ETSU. ETSU was in the SoCon. G-Long put 35 on Wes Miller and UNC Greensboro.
Oh.
So the level of like, we welcome you back with open arms because you're a former Bearcat. There was also some like, nah, man, screw you. You put 35 on us.
a little bit of good humored vitriol.
Yeah, there was like Mike Roberts. I was like, did you go say hi to G? And he's like, I'm like, G-Long Gwynn. He's like, oh, hey, come here. And they had some fun with it. But no, it was good to see G today. I miss him. We're gonna work on getting G on one of the shows here. Hopefully the BBP here sometime soon. But
other news, the baseball team does play at Indiana tomorrow. You can get that on Big Ten Network. So right now sitting at 6-4, so they're doing well.
They got a chance to go what?
Actually,
3, 4, 5-1
against
the Big Ten in the last week.
And that's not counting Michigan State coming up on Friday. So,
Big Ten champs. Go Bearcats.
Like the year Coleraine was GCL champs.
Yeah. Well, and UC was Indiana State champs last year. They beat Indiana and Notre Dame.
They were that.
So they were the Indiana State champs. That's going to wrap it up. I'm going to go have some laughs with my wife, who is winding down her birthday and enjoying life to the fullest today, which is what it's all about. So
very good.
15-hour day in the books. It was a lot of fun. Check out all the content. We got a crap ton of stuff covering spring football on Bearcat Journal and on the BBP and right here. Thank you for listening to the Nightcap. We'll see you tomorrow night. He's Aaron Smith. I'm Chad Brendel. Galactic Fried Chicken is the sponsor. Bearcat Journal is the home. This is the Nightcap.
See it.